I was a nurse for over 40 years.
I had a good career. I was a therapist.
And I worked downtown Seattle, for 20 years at the Westin Hotel.
For a while after I retired, at 65, I took a part-time job because the income was so tight at that time.
At this moment, I have my income is $647, not more.
It's a rather scary situation because I'm on a fixed income, Social Security, that doesn't really, match a person's living needs. And right now I make $1,069 a month on the Social Security, and my rent is now, starting in February, it went to $930 a month.
I don't know how people would afford to live in these apartments around here. Yeah, I don't. It's really something.
I did own homes. I did live up in Enumclaw and places like that. But things just didn't work out. I was living on the street for 2 years. I carved a hole underneath a tree in a park, and I lived down in that hole. And then just basically lived from food banks and just did my best to stay alive.
We get seniors that come into our program that are probably on disability, probably have worked minimum wage jobs for most of their life. And so they could end up getting $800 or $900 a month for the rest of their life, that's it. And as an example, there recently was a new apartment complex just opened here on the east side. And a studio apartment starts at $1,530 a month. Now that's impossible for these people.
I did drive around and stopped at different places to find out that waiting lists were 2 and 3 years long. And well, what's the point then? 3 years from now, financially, where am I going to be? What's going to happen? My Social Security doesn't go up that much.
I applied for Ellsworth House 4 years ago, last July. And every year they sent me a letter letting me decide whether I wanted to stay on the waiting list, which I always returned in the mail the very next day and told them that I did want to stay on their waiting list.
I'm waiting about 3.5 years to get this kind of traditional apartment where I can pay it according to my income.
In the 20 years I've lived here, the rent is basically the same. It's a certain amount of your income. So, and of course when you're on Social Security, your income doesn't go up that much. It's a perfect place for seniors. Absolutely perfect for seniors here.
What's good for the community here is the people, specifically the senior citizens that we're trying to help, they're more than likely are from this community. They've worked here, they've lived here, they're familiar with the area, and there's a really good chance that their families are still around here, their loved ones. And I don't feel that they should have to leave the area to find some place to live.
Because I'm only like 5 minutes away from the part of Bellevue that my daughter and her family lives. And so this was ideal.
But I do get to see my granddaughter a lot. Something I couldn't do under a tree.
It's keeping families connected in the area from where they're familiar with everything. Imagine Housing will start this summer building a senior property in Kirkland. And it's right beside one of our family properties. There'll be 91 units. And what I'm sorry to say, there's going to be a huge wait list. There's such a need out there. That property will fill up in 2 to 3 months. And there will still be a wait list for people wanting to get in.
Housing is central to anybody's stability. It's that Maslow's triangle of greater needs. It is the foundation. With safe, stable, affordable housing, households, people, seniors have the opportunity to flourish. Without that sense of security, it's really hard for people to find employment. It's really hard for people to have food security. It's really difficult for people to have social engagement that's meaningful. Housing is essential for people to live productive and happy lives.
When I first moved into Velocity, the first time I opened the door, we had a manager here by the name of Cito. And she was really helpful because when I opened the door, first thing she said was, "Welcome home." First time I'd heard that in a long time.